Blog Talk Radio.
Psycho, you scared to do it, so I feel I might go. I'll go ahead and beat it, then I'll feel like Michael. Mess you up unknowingly and fix you like a typo. Need to know the score like a fight go. I don't wanna blow it like a light bulb, cause girl you lit like a light show. Anything can happen at the night show. Why you wanna fuss and fight, yo? Like my intentions ain't right. I ain't the type of guy that you like, so I'ma go and be him for the night though.
Killer psycho, baby. Yeah, it's mine will play me. Left me going crazy. OD'd my love on the daily. Killer psycho, baby. Illness mine will pay me. Left me going crazy. I'm painkiller love on the daily. Tango with my heartstrings. Tango with my veins slowly. We know what you did to me. Suffocating. Oh
better. Battle lines have been designed with a feather. For every time that I never came home, for every second you're gone, I keep counting up each and every pro. You keep counting cards, thinking that you can do bad on your own. Feel like moving on. You wanna feel the scar right above your heart. Do you wanna leave it like that? Leave it like that. Do you wanna leave it like that and never ever call? Do you wanna leave it like that? Do you wanna leave it like that? Do you wanna leave it like that and finally lose it all? Doesn't matter who's right and who's wrong. I know where you and I belong. Sometimes you can overreact, but if you wanna pack your bags and go, just know you chose to leave it like that. Do you wanna leave it like that? Leave it like that. Do you wanna leave it like that and never ever call? Do you wanna leave it like that? Do you wanna leave it? Oh, do you wanna leave it like that and finally lose it all? Do you wanna leave it like that? Leave it like that. Do you wanna leave it like that and never ever call? Do you wanna leave it like that? Leave it like that. Do you wanna leave it like that and finally lose it all? You just wanna leave it like that. You just wanna leave it like that. You just wanna leave it like that.
Great rise, beloveds. It's your girl, Kimberly McCants, a.k.a. Queen Got the King Advocate, and you are listening live to On the Move, Unscripted, On Purpose, the ladies' round table discussion, where we talk about everything. Make sure you tune in every Thursday night at 8 o'clock from 8 to 10, so we talk about whatever you want to talk about. So make sure you tune in 8 o'clock every Thursday, 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock p.m. with your girls live on the move, unscripted, on purpose. And remember, whatever you do it on purpose with purpose.
What's going on? You have tuned in to another episode of On the Move, On Purpose. Yes, On the Move, Unscripted, On Purpose. That means that anything that we say, we are doing it purposely, even when we mess up. And, of course, you know I got my girls in the house, and we are ready to have some fun. It's another week, a great week. What's going on, ladies?
What's going on?
Hey. You know, I
y'all
get my
feeling
music on in the
this week?
beginning because y'all be trying to cheat me at the end, so I got to get it on in the beginning. Yeah, I had to out trick y'all. Y'all be bullying me and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I got them. I'm gonna play my music when I first come on. I ain't got no choice but to wait. I know y'all over there in y'all little houses like, if she don't hear it on, how much longer is this song?
Right,
Y'all love me. Y'all love me.
Right, I'm sitting there checking the messages like, are we playing a different episode today?
Y'all know
I'm like sitting there looking like it's 6 after, like.
So what's going on? I'm going to go by the first one that I see pop in. What's going on? Kimberly McCants, Queen Goddess King Advocate, holding the ATL down.
Holding it down, yes, ma'am. Do what I can do. But all is well. It's been great, actually. I'm starting some new opportunities in business. I've been praying for that, meditating, and I told you as far as my healing business is concerned, I wanted to expand it. And I'm going to actually start getting into hypnotherapy as well. I'm going to be adding that to my practice and some other things too. And these hoodies are moving, so I'm very grateful. I'm grateful for everything that's happening right now. It hasn't been super, super busy, which is okay. I like to think and meditate. So it's all been good for me, but it's been very productive. So I'm grateful for that.
That's what's up. I love those videos that you did when you, you was going through past Martin Luther King's house and Martin Luther King Jr.'s house or whatever. But they didn't let y'all go inside. You couldn't video inside. Is that what you did in your life?
You say what now? I didn't hear you.
So I got the phone.
Okay.
I said I saw the videos where you went to Martin Luther King's house, Martin Luther King Jr.'s house, but they didn't let y'all go inside. You couldn't film inside.
No. The furthest we can go was on the porch, and I wasn't standing in line for that. So this has been a week of me dating myself. Yeah, that was a very nice day that I had. With this, actually, I had a couple of days by myself just dating me, so that's been dope. Actually, I'm a wonderful date. Y'all should try.
You know what? Even when you're in a relationship, you still gotta have those days. I know absolutely. I gotta have. I stop when I be going somewhere. I be like, let me stop and just chill at the park. You gotta still have that me time. You got, you know what I'm saying?
That's right. Yes,
right.
ma'am.
Yeah, you gotta have that me time. So I definitely feel that. Well, I was loving doing it.
It was fun.
I loved the video. Yeah.
Good.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you had a good week, ma'am, and productive and shining and doing you and stuff like that. Go on, Mama Secret. So we're gonna go down to the next one. I'm sorry. What'd you say?
No, I just said always.
Right. The next one we got looks like Misty. Is that you, Misty?
Yep, that's me. Hey, y'all.
Is that you?
It's me.
What's going
on? My week has been very spiritually inclined, and I am loving every second of it. I'm working on my LLC and my nonprofit organization, so that will be up and running here shortly.
Wow.
And yes, I'm over here doing the thing. I'm staying busy in the Lord, and He's downloading a whole bunch of stuff in my spirit and moving in the atmosphere. And I talked to my oldest daughter. She told me yesterday, she was like, I'll be listening to the show when y'all be on third. I was like, do you? She was like, yes, ma'am. Especially, yes. She was like, especially when I need some encouragement and my week ain't going good. She said, yeah, I'll jump on there and listen to y'all, and y'all just help me out and encourage me. She was like, yeah, when I'm feeling down, I jump on the show, and y'all encourage me, and that made me feel real good. Like, my baby listening to me.
Yes, it is.
I was just like, oh, my goodness. I was shocked, like, you listen to us? And she was like, yes, ma'am. Like, especially when I'm feeling down. She said, y'all pick me up. I like y'all's show. So that made me feel really good.
Indeed.
Mm-hmm. That's
well, shout out to your daughter. What's her name?
LaQuisha Jones. LaQuisha. So, hey, Quisha, I hear you. Mommy hear you. LaQuisha.
Yes, the whole family hear you. Shout out to LaQuisha Jones. What's going on, girl?
Shout out.
So that's niece now. That's our niece. We got a new niece.
Yep, that's y'all's niece. You got a whole host of aunties on the phone line, girl.
Indeed.
But I'm kind of sad because my trip to, my trip is being postponed, but I'm happy as well because I'm on an assignment with the Lord. So He gave me an assignment, so I got to fulfill that. So that comes first, So I'm kind of sad, but I'm happy too because He chose me. So, many are called, you're chosen, and I got to do what thus says the Lord. So, y'all just, so it'll probably be hopefully after the first week of February, I can move on and go on to do my little trip with the kids.
Okay.
But other than that, all is well.
Good.
Okay, that's what's going on. I'm glad that you had a good week, you know what I'm saying, and that you are, whenever you make any type of sacrifices for God, you already know there's a blessing in that. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's and I just want to say, when I took those pictures, when you took those pictures wearing my jewelry, when you purchased some of my jewelry and rings, my paparazzi website. It looks so you look so beautiful in your picture.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to let you know
thank y'all.
Yep.
Thank y'all. I was sitting over here like, and then, getting all that confirmation. Because that was something I dealt with for a long time, so just to hear that, like, oh, you're so pretty, and they just warmed my heart, like, oh, and had me looking at myself in the mirror, like, I am beautiful. I am,
yes,
wow. The bomb,
wow.
like, this year, like, God made me beautiful. I am.
Yeah.
Those affirmations, to myself that I tell myself daily, because that was one of the things that the Lord downloaded in my spirit as well. 10 affirmations daily in the mirror to myself. So it boosts me up, and thank you. Not pridefully or not like that, but thank you. I appreciate it. Right. Lifting the sister up and let me know that I am beautiful.
Yes, indeed.
So thank y'all.
Yes,
I appreciate it.
So very welcome, honey. I love it.
I'm glad you had a good weekend. But yeah, I just want to let you know I appreciate you for shopping at my website. I appreciate that. And for anyone who you love paparazzi jewelry, I definitely would like to ask you to stop by my Facebook page. The link for my paparazzi website is on there. The Patricia M Goins is on there, and definitely, look through it. I wish I'd have known that they was going to do Pearls Day for daggone Inauguration Day. I'd have been searching for all the pearls that they have. Everybody had no pearls. I'm like, oh my God. Yeah, that was beautiful seeing all the women on social media wearing their pearls. That was the bomb.
Indeed. I still got like 99 things in my cart, Patricia. I haven't stopped.
Oh yeah. Whenever you do, just take your pictures. That's all I ask.
Okay, I will. Definitely.
So I think we got Mrs. Dushon Johnson on the line. What's going on?
Hey, ladies. Hey.
How you doing?
It is always.
You've been listening to action. I was about to send a search for you.
About a couple weeks, yes, but I am always so happy to get on, and by the, when you guys get to me, I'm, I have a smile, just so inspired by your stories and hearing, and then picturing it and with maybe some posts on social media. But my week has been really challenging because I've had some computer technical issues. And so it's been a challenge, and it's not really technical, it's mechanical, and these devices I really need, and it's really expensive. So I've been kind of down, but working in the organization and thinking about business goals and different things. So with all that said, I just keep moving forward, and thank goodness for the friends that I can call and prayer, So with that being said, I'm here. I'm glad to be here.
Yes,
and
this
we are always
by really quickly. No, I said, but this week has went by very quickly to me.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, you ever need us, we got your back now. You ever need us, we're here. We're only a phone call away.
Yes, I do
we're
know
here
that.
For prayer or whatever you need.
Right, yes.
Yeah. Well, I pray you get your computer fixed, because I know how that is. My freaking the same computer has crashed twice, and the insurance company refuses to give me another one. They keep wanting to try to fix it. You can't fix it. It's something wrong with it. Give me a new one. So,
and see, what I did is, it was my fault. I spilled something on it. And I was drinking some tea. I was drinking tea, and I never have done that. So, because I didn't immediately know what to do, it's really it's like buying another one. But it's going to be okay. Lesson learned, huh?
I said, yeah, I know the feeling. For me, all my stuff, every time I rebuild, it breaks down, and I have to rebuild. Like, I've been going through. I haven't even had this computer a year. It wasn't.
Yeah.
It was a malfunction. That's what happens when you be trying to save dollars and use refurbished ones. That just means you got somebody else's problems they try to fix.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So, but all is well. We learn, and it'll be a way out. I'll be working. I have to get another one, so it's all good. And
yeah, definitely. I pray that you get everything that you need.
All right. Well, thank you.
It looks like AMarie is also on the line. What's going on, AMarie? Yeah, thank you, dear.
Hello, ladies.
AMarie, are you there?
I am here. Can you hear me?
Are you there?
What's
going on?
Can you hear me? Hey, ladies, happy January, middle of the January week.
Okay.
I am literally just getting off work, off.
Wow.
I'm in my car, so hopefully you don't hear all it on. In fact, let me just go ahead and take it off of the because everybody complain. Let me take it off my Bluetooth now and just hold it in my hand so everybody can hear me. But hi, ladies. Where we at? I'm joining in.
The beginning, how your week is, or has been, rather?
Yeah.
Okay, my week has been pretty good. I've had a pretty decent week. I had any complaints. I've been working. Never did stop working. I've been blessed, so God is keeping me. I'm happy about my health. I'm back in the gym. I was, for the last couple of months, it was a discrepancy over a couple dollars on my payment. So I decided to boycott. And in the meantime, I didn't stop eating my little snacks and sweets. So I decided that it's time to end the beef. It's 2021. They won. And so now I'm back. So I feel really good. I feel rejuvenated.
I'm glad you feel better. Does everybody feel? I don't know. Okay, let me not just say does everybody feel. Am I the only one who feels like this sense of, I don't know, like a weight lifted, like how you feel right when the last wind of a bad storm has passed through? Is anybody else feeling like this sense of peace? Am I the only one who feels it?
I'm definitely feeling a sense of peace. I'm hoping that we're going to have a new beginning. We have a new president. Some of the things he put in declaration already has already happened. It's like he's on the move, and I appreciate that. And even though I was not a fan of Kamala Harris, she put a lot of people in prison, but she was a prosecuting attorney, and that's then the district attorney, so that's what she was supposed to do, and she did her apologies. And I'm just happy that she was able to break barriers as a woman, as an Asian African-American woman. So I'm seeing moves being made. I saw on the news how the police reform is starting. If officers do not have their camera on, it is an automatic dismissal, and then it's an automatic they're going under investigation as if they committed a murder. It's called accountability. We still got a long way to go, but at least the train is moving, and I'm very thankful for that because I've questioned several men, and out of the 10 black men that I have talked to this week, like, how do you feel when the police pull you over? I was really surprised that 7 out of the 10 said that it's like a scary feeling because they don't know if they're going to walk away that incident, whether they were guilty of or just police profiling. They didn't know if they were going to walk away, if they would ever see their family, if they would live past that, their moment with the police. So, I'm glad that I'm seeing things in motion. And while we got our foot on their neck, we cannot let it off. Well, putting that on the neck, that's not a really good slogan. But while we have the upper hand, I'm glad. I'm glad because this gives me a little bit of hope that my grandson could go to whatever event that he need to go to and not be pulled over
and be profiled by the police just because they don't have anything to do that day. You know, so I'm happy about that.
Right.
That means we'll be able to weed out a lot of the racist people, and they're adding a lot of mental health professionals, which is something they should have been doing because there's a lot of people with mental health issues. And if you're not trained in that area, you would absolutely not have the patience to deal with it. So I'm happy.
Yeah.
Patricia. I'm glad you had a very good week, Maria. Huh? You said what? Can anybody hear me? Are we having a
How was your week, Patricia? How was your week?
My week was good. It's been peaceful. Like, really peaceful. Like, I just feel like at peace. I know there's a lot of, grumbling, you know what I'm saying, amongst different people, like, but I just don't feel that energy. I don't feel the same weight and heaviness that I felt in 2017, 2018, with the changing of everything, or even where I felt the heaviness in the atmosphere of 2020. I just don't feel that right now. I know that it's the beginning, and if some people are already like this, that, and the other, but I'm like, change does not happen overnight, and it did not take just 24 hours for our country to get like this. This has been a building that's been going on for 20 years now. I don't know if people don't understand that, but it really has been going on, at least visibly, where everybody can see. I'm not talking about the rabbit hole issues. I'm talking about the ones where we all, no matter what, you see in your face. It's been 20 years of this. Started with the Bush, 9/11. It's just been nonstop. So I just feel an exhale. And it's my prayer that they have a very successful administration, and that the change benefits the people, because we're the ones who's hurting. But if by some chance they don't do right, then in 4 years we get to do it again. At least we were taught that our voice counted. Somebody tried to steal our voice and it didn't work. It counted. So give the administration a chance, see what happens. If it doesn't, they can't do the job, or, they've done all they can do, we need to get somebody else, then let it be what it is, but at least give them a chance. Change does not happen overnight. So that's my thing. So I'd rather think positive, feel positive, speak positive, and pray for the best, and go in it and just focus on the things that I can control, the things that my positive words can do. I just want to think positive. That's me. So I've had a great week. I actually took and went to the park and walked around. It was like, oh, snap. Those trees. I feel like I've been watched in forever. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I really had a good week. And then I'm about to have a book released. I'm actually Maxine Williams Wright. Huh?
Congratulations.
Thank you. Well, I'm actually a co-author. I'm a co-author. I'm not actually the book is written by I'm a playwright and an author named Maxine Williams Wright. She's actually done 3 or 4 plays in Atlanta. But she gave me the opportunity to be on this book, be one of the authors. MBJ Live is one of the authors. It's like 20 of us. And she allowed us to give our testimonies in her book. And I'm just so excited about the release. I'm excited about being a part of the project. I'm just excited.
Well, congratulations. That is exciting.
Yeah, I'll have more details about everything as the process goes along. It's just like, for me, it don't always got to be about me. I don't mind sharing or promoting somebody else or helping somebody else live their dream or be who they are. You know what I'm saying? I wish that more people in the world was like that. Like, it ain't always got to be about you. Share the love with somebody else, But I know we also have Dr. A. Storm on the line. What's going on, Dr. Storm?
Hey, I'm good. How's everybody?
How you doing? How was your week?
Good. Oh, it's been a great week. Just kind of chill, doing the usual stuff. Getting, my biggest project right now is getting my artist ready for his release party on March 13th. So we're creating a whole release party experience.
I still have not seen. You still haven't sent anything over, Dr. Storm, so we can get them in.
Yeah, well, we won't be doing that until the release. The only thing we're putting out now is just a couple little samples here or there. I can send you, tag you in, or forward to you what I have out on Facebook. But other than that, we're not putting the tracks out publicly.
Okay.
No, this will be the second one.
Release?
No, this will be the second one. He has a book out that's sold over 2,000 copies. Worldwide.
Well, you can.
So we can be pushing the book.
You can promote that while you're getting ready for the release.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm doing.
You've got to be the coolest doctor. I swear to goodness. When people come into your clinic and sit down on your couch, they be like, "Listen, doc, I got something going on. And you just probably, I can imagine just laying back and chilling like, what's going on?
Yeah, tell me about it, right? I just want to hear about it. Tell me what's going on with you. That's right. Tell me.
That's what's up. So, Dushon actually came up with the topic today because I was just like, what are we talking about? You know? And she was just like, let's talk about love. Let's talk about, is love free? And then she, says her thing was, can a man love a woman without expectation, and can a woman love a man for free? I said, that's deep.
Now, who said
that's
this?
Deep.
Right.
You said that, wasn't you?
No, that's why I said I heard my name, and I wanted to make sure that I did not take credit for that because I did not say that, and that had to be Kim.
Yeah, that was me. Yeah, that was me.
Oh, okay. I must have got my text mixed up.
That's a
good topic.
I had to say it. So, yes, I should not take credit for that.
At least you know. That lets you know.
But I knew who exactly said it.
Okay. At least we know you would if you was given an extra penny or extra money, you would give it back to the cashier. You're the honest type. You're honest Abe. I love that. That's what's up.
Oh, absolutely.
So, but that is a good topic. So, Miss Dushon, since you honest Abe and stuff like that, what are your thoughts? Do you think that it's possible for a man to love a woman without expectation, like with no regard? Like, do you think it's possible for a woman to fall in love with a man? I mean, for a man to fall in love with a woman that he's never slept with?
Absolutely. Yes, I do. Because sleeping together is not the basis of love. It's I believe it's a desire, and it goes along with being responsible for coming to that point. Now, that sounds great. Is it always followed? I can talk for myself. No, it hasn't been, but that, there is a side that, man, of course, people can fall in love without sleeping together. And then the second question was, can a man fall in love with a woman without expectations, or was it the woman falling in love with the man without expectations?
Really, it's kind of both. Can a woman love
can
a man love a woman without expectation, and can a woman love a man for free? Free mean money? Money.
Yes.
I don't know what free means. Okay,
so
can a man? Okay, so I guess to get to the point where you have built and developed a love relationship, there would have to be some expectations. Because there would have to be some sort of expectations to build that. Now, can I love a man for free, or can a woman love a man for free? What do you mean?
So Kim is the one who came up with it. So Kim, what do you mean?
Kim, what do you mean for free?
Without going in his pocket. So I'm talking specifically about money, and I'm asking the question because I hear men in particular talk about it all the time. Why I always got to pay a bill before I can get this, that, and the other. You know what I'm saying? Why I always got to come out of my pocket first before I can, be intimate with her or whatever the case. I hear so much right now. So that's why I'm asking the question.
Okay, because so many things are going through my mind in terms of free. And it just depends on what it's going to cost me.
Okay,
so yeah, so me loving you for free, it depends on what that's going to cost me, because it could cost me a whole lot, and no, I'm not willing to do that.
Right.
I know that sounds kind of complex, but you got to think about that part too.
Right. Absolutely.
Because that may cost me, and so it just depends on what that is.
Right.
Okay. So Kim, what are your thoughts?
I'm gonna say definitely on both, and I can speak personally on the first half, like that through experience. Is for a man to even be willing to, not go there with a woman, right out the gate, to really want to know her, and you all be able to have conversations about things, even though he may have, the desire is there, of course, but for that not to be, the forefront of or the foundation for the connection is dope, and it actually makes it stronger, because that's how you really get to know a person for who they truly are before you lay down with them. You have more time to explore their soul, you know what I'm saying, to really know what type of individual they are before you become soul tied with them. So it can happen. It may not happen a lot, but it can definitely happen. And I say that because men are more visually drawn and responsive to what they're visually drawn to. But it can definitely happen. And as far as a woman being able to, and I'll say love loosely, okay, in both instances, for a woman to be able to love a man for free. Most women do love for free, but there is that expectation, because a woman gives her love I think she gives her love a little bit differently than a man does, because there's more of a real emotional tie with that. So the expectation from him is for him to protect that, to support that, to make sure that it's good all the time in every aspect. If I give myself to you, then yes, you should give something to me. Absolutely. As far as the monetary end, strictly, I can't speak for every woman, because it depends on what her standard is. You know what I'm saying? I with that too, I hear a lot more women nowadays, saying, well, he ain't getting nothing from me if he ain't paying no bills. If he ain't paying my car note off, he ain't getting nothing but a tap on his shoulder. You know what I'm saying? That's extreme, but I'm hearing it a lot. It's like, wow, I don't know what to do with that, because I'm not that type, but I can't knock anybody if that's how you get down. If you process that, you justify that, then in some way there has to be an equal exchange. So I'm not upset with that, because there's got to be an equal exchange for the whole, relationship to be balanced. But I don't know if I would use that per se as the currency. But I mean, that's me. Like I said, I can't knock anybody. Whatever those two people agree upon, That's what they agree upon, but that needs to be agreed upon before it's entered into, that part.
Okay. So I'm curious, Dr. Storm, what are your thoughts?
So I just feel like yes to both without the initial expectation. So the initial expectation from the men's perspective of getting sex and the initial expectation of a woman for exchanging her energy for money. But eventually, relationships are built on expectations, right? I expect, reciprocity. I don't feel that things are typically are ever equal, but I do feel like there has to be reciprocity. There has to be some give and take. I'm going to give, I may have more value, knowledge, et cetera, in this area, so I may give more. I may be weak in this area, so I may give less, and vice versa. So, yeah, that's pretty much my thought. It's about the energy exchange for me, because energy has that value. That's what we have. At the end of the day, we have energy. And that's when our energy is gone, then that's it for us here on this earth, in the physical sense, right? So that's our most valuable commodity is our energy. And I like to say, for me, I just like to be as careful about how I spend my energy, how, when, where I spend it, as I am with my money.
Wow.
So.
Right, that one right there. Okay. So going on down the line, I'm curious. Let me see, Misty. I'll go to Misty first. Misty, what are your thoughts?
I actually say yes to both because I have had a long-term phone relationship with a couple people for well over a year, and neither one of us was expecting pretty much not we didn't go overboard with the expectations because we already knew what to expect from each other during those conversations, that whole year and something, 2 years that we conversated on the phone. We had already knew what to expect, so I believe that. Okay, hold on. Without expectation, and can a woman love a man for free? And absolutely, yeah, a woman can love a man for free. I have done that plenty of times. The cost of it, and most of the times was more on me. Not as far as money, but as far as everything. What it cost me. Period. Not just as far as money, but as far as asking or making statements like, "Oh, he ain't getting this unless I get this. Oh, I can pay my own bills." We don't do that. I'm going to make sure mine is covered. I got mine. I don't need nobody to do nothing for me. And especially not pay no bill. I don't roll like that either. So I'm not going to ask him to pay no bill anyway. So I don't know nothing about none of all that. But I'm going to handle mine. Yeah, we ain't doing that because we don't want you to be like, okay, well, since I paid this bill, can I come up in this second bedroom? You got 2 bedrooms, one on him? Nah, bruh. Nah, I can pay my own bills. You can't bump here, bro. I'm fine. So, but, yeah, I'll say yes to both. Yes and no about the expectations, though. It just all depends on the person you're dealing with. But by that time y'all get together, y'all should know, and that's actually a good question. These are good questions because especially when you're getting to know yourself, what you're expecting from someone, so you won't have to put yourself in that predicament in the first beginning, so it's best to learn yourself so you'll know what to expect, and if someone's expecting more from you, than what you believe that you can give, that's your way out. You know, we always got a way out. So don't get stuck in the expectation that you cannot fulfill.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I'll say about that.
Okay, so AMarie, your turn. AMarie.
Yes, I'm sorry.
She might
okay.
Oh, okay.
Well,
your turn.
As far as the women loving for free, speaking for myself, no. I mean, if I love you unconditionally, I love you unconditionally. But if we're going to be in a relationship or whatnot, I am coming with you with a few expectations. Like from the time I was a little girl, have watched my father be an excellent provider, not so much as an excellent husband, but an excellent provider. I've seen my grandfather be an excellent husband and provider, and a lot of uncles and, people just get married. I don't know what their secret was. I don't know what hell they went through, with the skeletons in the closet. So, no, if somebody like me, and say they're a really nice person, but they have a hard time, like, trying to keep a job or something, then you're not right for me, because I'm coming to the table with something. So I cannot accept coming to the table with the man who's bringing absolutely nothing except imagination to the table. So for me, no, you're not coming. I will not do it for free. I'm not coming to the table where I have to take care of your ass.
That's the Ohio women up in the house. We don't understand them about that.
So even if you lay it on you, though, if you lay it down a certain kind of way continuously, you got to pay that bill.
And I feel like if women are honest up front, like, for instance, Misty, you and I think very differently. Like, you're like, oh, nah, bruh. You ain't gonna, if you just spend a night over my house consistently, I'm going to have to insist that you pitch in on something. No, that doesn't mean I'm inviting you to move in. But if I know I leave my house and say this is your day off, but it's my day at work, I know I'm leaving my house, but you still going to cook you some breakfast. You still may watch you some TV, take a shower, get ready for the day. You have still used my electric, my gas, my water. And if you're just there, here and there, that's not an issue. But if it's to the point where I can actually notice the difference in my utility bills, then yes, bruh, I'm going to need you to cough up a little something. Now, to answer
you out the door. When I go out the door, you out the door right along with me. We ain't leaving you in the crib. No, I'm not. I don't know. You can't stay in my crib and I ain't here. I'm sorry. So, yeah, we different. He's going out the door when I go. Before me.
If I'm in a relationship with a guy, then there's trust there. So if I'm going to trust you with my temple, with my body, then I can trust you with material shit that don't mean nothing to me that I can get back. So that's just kind of how I look at it. But, the other question was, can men be in a relationship without expectations? I'm not a man, but I would have to say no. Because women, we're emotional creatures. So, I mean, with the exception of Kim, there is a very small percentage of women that's like, no, I F your emotions. So, but the bulk of the women are emotional creatures. Men don't think emotionally. They think logically. So logically, if he's in this relationship, now I have met one man in my half a century being on earth. I have only met one gentleman, and I believe him. And he said he met his wife in college, their freshman year. They decided to maintain a friendship, get to know one another before they had any type of physical encounterment other than, holding hands, things that are loving and enduring. But anything physical like sex, they didn't do anything like that until after their 4 years was up. They waited till they got married. And that was a 4-year process. And he said he's glad he did it that way because there's nothing about his wife he don't know. That's his absolute best friend. And this is my doctor. So, on that aspect, I was like, wow. But had he not told me that out his own mouth, and who's to say he's telling 100% truth? I mean, I don't see the reason for him to lie about it because he speaks very fondly of his wife. But he is the only man that I know personally that at some point, they're not expecting some type of physical connection. Men feel like they have to be, in my opinion, because I have been checked by some men that have called in. But in my opinion, men have to feel like they're needed. And if a man does not feel needed, if you whoop a woman up like, oh, I got this, or I pay for that, then there is no purpose for that male role to be played in that household. And if that is the case, they will go somewhere else, or they will wander somebody else, or maybe they love you, but their use of a man is just not needed in that home. And to me, men have to feel needed. And if they don't feel needed, then it's a pretty good chance they're not going to stay. Because if you're doing everything that the woman is supposed to do and you want to wear the pants doing everything that the man is supposed to do, then what is left for him to do? But if he's going to be in a relationship and he's we had that argument with control and alpha male last week, but if he wants to be the man of the house and, make sure of everything, he is going to have expectations. And most men love sex. They love it. Now, I'm sure and I have noticed that as men get more older, not even older, as men mature, because some men grow older and they just never grow up. But as some men mature, they understand and they realize that it's the companionship or the love that they're looking for. But a lot of young men coming out or just learning, or some men that don't necessarily want a relationship, that's not what they grew up seeing, that's not what they want, or there's so many different women, I'm young, why should I settle down? It's normally always a physical contact. And with a lot of women, ever notice how some women put up with some ridiculous men, like he's such an asshole. Why are you putting up with? Because he's not good in no other area but sex. Like, oh, I can't stand, I'm going to leave him alone next week because, girl, this weekend I just need to be done, and I know he's good at. That's the only thing he know how to do. And that's a fatal mistake that we make, because a lot of times we get caught up, and I have definitely been dick whipped in my lifetime. I definitely have, where I should have been in a let go relationship, but I stayed in there just a little bit longer until I realized, like, the only thing that we actually have in common at this point is sex. And although it's great, my worth is better, my worth is greater, and it's just time to let this go because it's going nowhere, and it hasn't been anywhere. But that's my opinion on how men think. I'm hoping the man call in and give their opinion.
Well, there's a caller on the line. There's a caller on the line now, so I'm about to bring the caller on. But before I bring the caller on, I want to answer it too. So, my thoughts. Can a man love a woman without expectation? Can a man truly love a woman with no expectations? Just love her. He don't expect nothing from her. She don't got to do nothing. She don't got to be nothing. He just love her just because of who she is. I think that's possible. I think it's possible for a man to love a woman without expectations, if that's depending on what his personality is. If he's one of them type of people that every X has to be crossed, every X has to be crossed, every T has to be crossed, everything has to be I has to be dotted. If he's real, like, she's got to be this and she has to be this and this and this, she can't have this and she got to have that. At that point, no, I don't know if he's going to be able to love a woman without expecting all those things on his list to be fulfilled, which I guess women are like that too. But I think it's possible for a man to love someone without a woman without expectation. I think it's possible. What was you
and Patricia, when you talked about expectations, I also thought about those that are healthy expectations, meaning, be committed to the relationship. That's an expectation. So I was also thinking along those lines as well.
Yeah, I think, it's good to have some type of expectation, I think. Some type of, you don't just want anything, you know what I'm saying, like Marie said, like AMarie said, like, you got to have some kind of expectation. So do I think a man can love a woman without expectation? Yes. Do I think a woman can love a man for free? That happens all the time. All the time, women get into these relationships with these men who ain't about nothing. They ain't trying to be nothing. They ain't really looking for nothing. They don't really want nothing. But they see that she got something, and then first thing they thinking like, okay, let me go with her. Let me get with her. But I'm gonna keep Sally and Janet and Kim and So and we women sometimes, depending on when we meet them in our life and where we are emotionally, mentally, spiritually, sometimes we accept those men. Like, well, you know what? I'll be the one that can change him. I'll be the one that can be his superwoman. And that's all fine and dandy as long as he wants to get up to the point to be Superman. But if he don't ever want to do more than chill at the crib and play games and watch the woman struggle, then that's the issue. So, yeah, I think a woman can love a man for free. It happens all the time. But I also feel like women give so much of ourselves. Why should we have to love without any expectation? Why should we have to love free? Why should a woman, if a woman is with a man, men are meant to be leaders. They're meant to be the head. They're meant to be, that's their natural place. They're meant to provide, and they go after what they want, and they will do what they want, what they need to do to get what they want. And if there's no chase, there's no challenge, there's no nothing to it, you know what I'm saying? Then they don't always treat it the same way. Like you might see a guy who just loves his girl. She's hard to get. She didn't pay him no attention. She's not even all that pretty, And you might have a whole bunch of other women that just, that really digging him and will be willing to do anything, but he's attracted to the one who's making him earn it. You know what I'm saying? Who's making him be a man about it. Come at me correctly. You know what I'm saying? Don't come with no craziness. So, it's women love men for free all the time, but should we? I mean, we are the receivers in so many different ways. Like, no, I feel like the man needs to come up to the plate. But let's bring the caller in, because I'm curious to see if this caller is a male or a female and what their thoughts are. Hello, caller. You have been sitting on the line for so long. We appreciate you so much. You have 663 in your phone number. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Great vibrations.
MPJ
Live. Well, I can't wait to hear what he's about to say.
What's going on? I only got a few minutes. I got to jump on the call. I thought I was going to have to hang up.
Okay.
So now you got we get to talk and we got to get it all out now. We just got to be patient with it.
So to stand up for not the average brother is four parts. There's emotionally, physically, logically, and spiritually. What a man and a woman have to have. It's not just an emotional thing from a woman or a physical or logical thing from a man. We is majority of people always skip the spiritual, and that's the problem, because we are spiritual beings housed in the body. And so if we, male and female, tap into our spirituality, as Kim say, F your feelings. If we tap into our spirit, man, woman, it will teach us balance across the board. And so as a man, okay, I don't just go in and looking at something logically. I look at it logically. I look at it physically, spiritually, and emotionally. And so that's a balanced man. Not all men can say that, because majority of the men, they looking at it all. Can I get some booty?
Exactly.
Well, can you take care of me? But no, but how about, can you empower that woman spiritually?
That part.
Can you look at something? We already know you can look at something logically and physically, but how can you tap into her emotionally? How can you understand that woman unless you become emotional yourself?
Fact.
But if you have that balance coming from a male perspective, then that's a pretty balanced brother. But I can only speak from a male perspective, but general overall, that's dealing with the human race. Male or female, if we don't have those four components, there's no balance.
Right.
there's no balance.
Stars up on
spiritually,
Facebook
we wouldn't be able to see. Spiritually, we wouldn't be able to see what we need to see, because then we'll be in our feelings. We'll be in our emotions. But sometimes it's not always about. It's like if a woman says, "Oh my God, I'm crying. Oh my God, I can't believe it. Somebody got on my nerves." But a man, typical man's gonna be like, "Okay, she tripping. I'm finna go outside, drink me a beer, whatever." But instead of him saying, "Hey, babe, what's wrong?" "Oh no, this is so good." And it can't even. It may not even be what he's saying it is, but it may be something totally different. But if he's not in tune, then he won't be able to relate. If he's not thinking logically, if he's not thinking physically, okay, let me embrace her physically. Now, let me give her my energy spiritually. So now tapping her emotionally and logically, all those roll into one. And so, yes, can a man love a woman without expectation? Absolutely. And can a woman love a man for free? Absolutely. Absolutely. And so when you really tap into your spiritual side, now, okay, so I heard the sister say, well, if a man is using up all my electricity and my water, he coming in using my Kotex and my tampons, and he got to pay. That Negro got to pay, But if you sit back and you observe, okay, what am I missing? What's going on? If you look at it spiritually, okay, is he a user? Is he an abuser? What's going on in his life? What's going on with him? Why is he feeling like he's destitute, or he could be homeless? Anything. But if you just looking at it from I ain't taking care of no grown man. But if you come in spiritually, it's like, okay, as a nurturer, as a woman, and if you're balanced as a woman, then you're going to probably look at it a different way and be able to look at it spiritually, discerning, okay, yeah, this dude got some stuff going on. Yeah, I'm going to let him stay a little bit longer, and then we're going to have a conversation. I understand. I'm blessed. And, you'll be able to look at things a little different, and you'll be a little bit more lenient, a little bit more patient. Not saying that you want somebody to run over you or use you or anything like that, but if you look at it through spiritual eyes, you'll look at stuff totally different.
Right. Indeed.
Okay. All right, then. Everyday Live. So do you think, so in your opinion, do you feel like it's possible for a man to truly fall in love with a woman that has nothing to offer him and he's never slept with? I mean, truly love her.
If he's coming spiritually, if he's looking at, you got to lead spiritually. You got to lead with that first. And that's the problem with a lot of relationships, with a lot of people in life, not just in relationships, but across the board. We are spiritual beings housed in the body. And so we don't learn how to operate spiritually. It has nothing to do with religion, Christianity, Nation of Islam, Muslim, Baptist, Presbyterian, Church of God in Christ. I don't give a damn how many tongues you speak in. If you're not spiritually grounded, spiritually astute, and you're tapped into the universe, then you're going to be off balance. You're going to be way off balance. So you have to, it's imperative. We can't get around it. You can't get around it because we haven't been taught that. So it's unfamiliar and it's strange to us. And that's why we always stress. I'm saying we as a people, but I used to be always stressed, always frustrated, always mad, always hating on somebody, thinking somebody trying to take this or look at you, or she got my dress on, or man, he think he all that, because you're not tapped in spiritually. Right. And you're going to continue to have those problems. Okay, why am I continue to choose the same old thing, keep on kicking my toe? Okay, let's see what's going on with me spiritually. Let me see what's going on. Why am I keep picking the same type of woman? Okay, let me do a soul check. Because there's something down there rooted, and I need to pluck it up by the roots. And guess what? It may not even be your roots. It could be some generational stuff 5 legs down.
Mhm.
And if you're not spiritually astute, you will not see it. It's impossible for you to see it. Why? Because you're thinking logically, you're thinking physically, and you're thinking emotionally. And like Kim said, F your feelings.
F your feelings. Yes.
You can't get around it, ladies. Spiritually is the head. You need to meditate. You need to find you some soft music, some elevated music. Kim knows some stuff, 528 megahertz. You need to get on you some sounds and meditate.
Right.
Clear your mind, clear your soul of all the static that's going on, so you will be able to open up your third eye, and so you will be able to see stuff that you ain't never seen before. Don't you want to be totally free?
Yes.
Don't y'all want to be totally free?
Are we talking about
your
love, or
spirit
are we talking
being?
about the rabbit hole? Marvin, are we talking about love, or are we talking about the rabbit hole? Which one are we really talking
Loving
about?
yourself. Loving yourself. If you go to the spirit, all of this is inclusive. It's inclusive.
Okay.
It's not a rabbit hole.
So your answer to that is yes. A man can love a woman without expectation if he's spiritually in tune, and a woman can love a man for free if she's spiritually in tune. That's what you're saying.
Yes. You definitely have to lead with that, and all those other things will fall in place.
Yep.
Okay, and that makes sense, and that definitely. I mean, it makes sense, but a lot of people are not tapped into their spirituality on that level. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people are not. Everybody is not, quote unquote, free in that area. So a lot of people, I think, people have different definitions of love and what love means to them. Like, there might be some men that, for them, love, the expression of love has to do with sexuality. Like, if the sex is good and I love her because our bodies are in tune. Women too, we're emotional receivers. So sometimes we can confuse love with lust or call love a different name when that's not really what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
So I guess it just depends on the person and where they are mentally or whatever. But I do think it's possible. I have literally been in relationships where I loved the person, but it was never anything sexual. I have been. I used to ask guys that too. That used to be a question. I used to ask guys, is it possible to fall in love with someone, like truly love someone, like really, really? I'm talking about that real love, like real, like in your heart type love, with someone that you've never, ever been intimate with, only friendship. I used to wonder that. I used to even doubt that was possible until I experienced that. And then I said, you know what, it is possible. You know what I'm saying? It is possible to. And I mean, that just came through life lessons or whatever. So I know it's possible because I've experienced it. I think that the worst thing is to feel like you love someone or attracted to someone or whatever, but the feelings are not mutual. I think that's where it becomes very difficult and tricky for people, or maybe they've been hurt by the relationship. Huh? What'd you say? Oh, okay. So, yeah, that's what I think. I think it's possible, I know it's possible to love someone you've never been intimate with. I feel like women should have expectations. We shouldn't have to get with a relationship where there's no expectations. Or what do you? Or there's no maybe expectations, not the word I'm looking for, but you don't have a not expectation, but something that you want. Like, I want a man that's mature, or I want a man that's loving, or I want a man that's affectionate. Things like that. Like, you should have certain guidelines for things that you want.
Right.
So let me. It's possible to have expectations, but I don't think it's realistic.
Can I add something real quick, Patricia?
Yeah.
Once a woman and I can speak for me, okay? Once a woman gets to the point where she is so madly in love with who she is, then she will attract what she wants, because it will be a reflection of herself. That goes on either side. I love me so much that whatever man I attract is going to be is my reflection. He is me. He's masculine form of me because I love me like that. So I do have certain expectations of myself because I can do them. So it's gonna be a natural, response, if you will, that I'm gonna get exactly what I put out. Like attracts like in that energy. I'm gonna get what I put out. How I perceive myself, what I do for myself is going to come back. So I have an expectation of that because that's what I'm giving. That's why I've been dating myself. I love me to pieces. I've been doing everything for myself. I'm going to get that back because I would do it for myself. You know what I'm saying? So you have to get to that point that you are so madly in love with you and not in an arrogant, I don't need nobody type of mode, but that you are so in love with yourself, you have acknowledged all of your good and your bad, your strengths, your weaknesses. You've acknowledged all those. You fixed some stuff. You've gone through your shadowing. You've gone through your tower moments. You changed what you can change, and you're constantly doing that and open to it. Once you've gone through that, once you've done that, you will get the reflection of you. So, yeah, it's free.
I agree with you. I agree with you. A lot of times you have to. I do. I do agree with you. Because you know what? A lot of times people bounce from relationship to relationship without ever spending that me time, that what do I want time, that what happened in that relationship. And we're so quick a lot of times to point the finger like, well, it didn't work because he did this or he did that or he did that or whatever, she did that or whatever. Not taking the time to reflect on ourselves and say, so what part did I play in this?
Exactly.
Was it really all his or her fault, or did I play a part in that as well? So if you never take that time alone to get past the pain of the last relationship and spend that me time and that loving me time and rebuilding me time, then you will end up attracting the same thing that just ended. But however, when you do shift your focus, when you do shift your energy, and you spend that me time, understanding, that if that person doesn't feel the same way, that's not rejection. That's just that I'm not their type, or whatever. Or, I know I probably did this in a relationship that could have been better. And so the next time, I'll try to be conscious and not do this or that or what. I mean, just spend that, like you said, that time alone to get to know you, to love you, so that you feel confident. And that does draw what it is that you want. What you want is probably already out there waiting, looking at you, and you don't even know it because you too busy looking at a whole bunch of other stuff. So I agree with you.
That's what I'm saying. Love is an application.
You attract to you what you put out is what you pull in, what you get. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yes, ma'am.
Somebody
write this day down in this time. Somebody take note, please. And me and Patricia actually, for real, agreed.
I know.
No underlying nothing. Somebody make notes.
I want to join in on this conversation because I know that we had a couple callers that we was too long-winded and y'all hung up. So if you want to call back in, the number is 516-387-1247. Once again, it's 516-387-1247. And we're curious to know, what are your thoughts? Do you think that love is free? Do you feel like, a man can love a woman without expectation? Do you think that a woman can love a man without expectation or for free, or whatever? It's deep how Marvin talks. Marvin always goes down to the lowest common denominator down to the atoms and the cells, and you know what I'm saying? So I knew I wasn't going to get like a straight answer.
But I gave you the straight answer
down to the lowest compound.
But I gave you the straight answer first.
Yeah.
I gave you the straight answer first, and then I went into this is how you get to, and also connecting with nature. It will also open you up. And Patricia, you felt it. You thought I was crazy.
Yes. Yes. I can't eat. You know what? That is when Marvin used to be talking. When me and Marvin was on the radio together, and he used to be talking about the nature and trees, and I used to be like, okay, Marvin, I know trees, Marvin. Yes, I got it, trees. Yeah. But
who all in the park talking about this is beautiful. Who all up in nature talking about this is so beautiful. Y'all look at this.
Let me tell you, we were. It was right before I left Atlanta, and we were getting ready for that play, The Manifest, and we had went to this park to try like do our parks. I think that was today. Anyway. We went up to a tree because, Marvin always talking about the trees. And so he was just like, we were talking about the nature trees. And then we went over to this particular tree. And when we started, and it was like, I don't know what it was, but Marvin was like, put your head close to the tree. I put my head close to the trunk of the tree. And I promise you, I could feel the pulse. I could feel what felt like a freaking heartbeat in that tree. I am not lying. And it was like from that time forward, I just started looking at nature differently. And then I remember that that scripture in the Bible about the man with Jesus. And I guess he was blind or something like that. Bible scholars, please, I don't know if I'm saying this exactly right, but I remember him he was blind. And I guess Jesus spit his hand and put his hand on his eyes, and when he took his hands away, he saw trees that were walking like men. And I guess it scared him or something, and God did it again, and Jesus did it again, and then he was able to see things normally. So that means there's life in the trees. There really is life in nature. It's rejuvenating. We get our oxygen from it. You know what I'm saying, or whatever. So, yeah, there's definitely something about nature. I can go out to a park and sit, and I can be stressed when I go to and if I sit there long enough in the sun and all that kind of stuff, I come out feeling rejuvenated. I ain't lying. That's the truth. You ain't lying about that.
Yeah.
We got a caller on the line, so let me pull the caller in. Hello, caller. You have 887 in your number. Can you tell us your name and where you're calling from?
Derek from Atlanta.
What's going on, Derek from the ATL? How would you like to contribute to the conversation, sir?
Yeah, I was at work listening to y'all, and I don't think no one can love somebody without expectation. Living life is an expectation. From the day we're born, always trying to get the certain step. You know what I'm saying? How can you love somebody if you don't expect nothing out of them? When I meet a woman, I expect her to give the same love I give to her that she gives to me, or try to do this or try to do that. But all of the expectations, ain't no way you can do it without expectation. If it is, why are you doing it anyway? So I don't understand that.
Oh. Okay, so let me ask you this question this way as a man. Can you be interested, love a woman, pursue a woman or whatever without being or without expecting sex from her? Can you do that? Can you be in a relationship with her initially? Not like, I don't mean like, y'all have been together 9 years. I mean like initially, like dating her or whatever, and there's no sex involved. Like you're not expecting her to do that. Like you all are just really exchanging, information and really learning each other, developing a true bond. Can you do that?
Of course I can do that, but the thing you should, what you should look at, what are you looking for anyway in a relationship? Are you trying to just find somebody just to dib a dab, or are you looking for that soulmate for the rest of their life? And for me, I believe no man or woman should be alone. Even God knows that when He put Eve there, So, for my thing, at the end of the day, I'm looking to be with a woman, my significant other. I don't think it's good to be by yourself. I don't think it was meant for us to be no one to be by themselves. So,
no, I'm not saying being by yourself.
But I understand what you're saying.
Okay.
But I expect that I want her to know if I'm starting to talk to you, all that is going to evolve to be that. Because I'm looking for a woman for companionship and all that. Let's be for real. Every man out there who ain't just looking out there just to mess around, they looking to have a relationship. I'm not looking for no friend. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to do what I can do to put out to you so you can feel the same way about me. I want you to love me, you know what I'm saying? I don't want you to love how much money I got or what kind of car. I want you to get to know me. And get to know me, you got to do that before the sex even comes anyway. And then if the sex ain't no good, there's a lot of people find out the sex ain't no good and they still be with the people. That don't make sense to me. I think relationship is one of the most important things to keeping people together, and they got to be compatible with each other. So if you ain't got that, you ain't gonna have nothing in the long run anyway. It ain't about the kids, and it ain't about this. It got to be, you two got to be physically, connected to each other. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I agree.
So let me ask you another question. What are your thoughts on women that tell men that they can't get nothing from them physically unless you're paying a bill?
Well, it all depends how smart the man is. I ain't going out there looking for no woman like that. I'm going out there looking for a woman who's trying to take care of herself, and I'm taking care of myself. Why should I pay your bill when I got to pay my bill? If we're going to do that, we might well get together and stay together and be together. That's when that comes in. But you need to take care of yourself, and I'm going to take care of myself.
I know that's
and,
right.
I'm saying, I ain't going to pay your bill. I ain't working my job to pay your bill. And you got to have that expectation to pay your own bill. So that's what you working for.
Yes. Okay, so he's saying so what's your response, Misty, to what he just said?
Hey, I can dig it because I don't want you to pay my bills because you're supposed to have your. I expect you to have your own anyway, and you gonna leave before I leave or when I go out that door. You can't stay here. I'm sorry. Like no, we're gonna have to have our own cribs, but that also go on the expectation part with me. I was going to bring up with my ex of 16 years when we had our stores and stuff. I told him, I said, well, what am I supposed to do? He said, I don't expect you to do nothing but sit there and look pretty. And I'm like, huh? He said, that's all you do. My woman don't work. And I never had to work the whole time I was with him until he wasn't giving me the amount of money I want because he start cutting it down like, no. But he still expected me to keep house. He still expected me to make sure he had his meal. You know what I'm saying? There's still expectations there. So the expectation part goes yes and no, hand in hand with me. So, but yeah, that thank you. I don't want you to pay my bills. Thank you, sir.
Okay, so AMarie,
I guess my question is, my question for the callers is, I hear men say all the time, and one of the ladies mentioned it earlier, men want to feel needed. So the confusion in my head is you want to feel needed, but you don't want us to want anything? Like you want us to take care of ourselves? How? My question then would be how does a woman make you feel needed? What does that mean?
See, we get on a different. See, the thing we need to look at is when you get in those kind of situations. This is the point when you sort of be married and all this stuff, staying together. Because a man like to feel needed. One thing, men are very insecure. Mm-hmm. That's one thing you're right. They are very insecure. So the woman he want to make sure that woman he want to always make sure that he want her. You know what I'm saying? She want him because he's scared that we might lose him. But if you're doing the right thing, you know what I'm saying, everything will be all right. And see, we all are trying to have stuff. We want all this, but we don't want to do the final stuff, which is being mad for the rest of our life. We want to have these little games and stuff we be playing and want things to be all right, and it ain't going to be all right. Because really, we don't want to be doing that if you really want to look at it. You know what I'm saying? Playing with each other like, shacking and all that. My final thing is being married to the end of days. Because I'm kind of old now, and I don't think I want to be alone being an old man. Because I believe life is shorter when you're by yourself.
Indeed.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I understand that. My question still remains.
And back what you're saying, you get what you for to make me feel the same way I for to make you feel. It ain't no one-sided thing. You making me feel good, and I for to pay you for making me feel good. I for to make you feel good too. We helping each other. See, y'all trying to separate this thing. You can't do that. You supposed to make me feel wanted because you making me feel wanted. And how you supposed to get this? If you working, we're gonna get it together, baby. Whatever you want, if we doing it right, we're gonna get it for you. We're gonna do it together. It ain't gonna be doing it by myself. I don't want to be in a relationship where I'm working by myself. If both of us working, we ain't worried about the little things you talking about. You know what I'm talking about? That little stuff you talking about minute if both of us working together. So I'm gonna give you what you need, and you're gonna give me what I need. Until we can't do it no more.
I agree.
He said, this is it ain't no one way thing with him. I know that's right.
My question to the caller is this. You said, now that's something once you get married, but leading up to that part, because my thing is, I would not, until a man can show me that he understands my worth, he has stepped up to the part, because I'm not going to come down on my standards. That's not going to happen. I'm not a gold digger. I work way too many hours to even be considered to be called one. But, and I don't mind helping. There's nothing wrong. That's what makes the relationship, the compromise. But at the end of the day, I guess basically I'm saying no man is just going to sit there. I'm not your mama. I'm your partner, and there is a difference, So I'm going to come to the table with my part, and we're going to work on it. But I have no intentions of sitting there and let you lay around like you're one of my children. That I'm not going to do because I work too hard for it. And in the Bible, there's somebody for everybody. So obviously you are not the body that God has sent to me. Because you said what I heard you say, and I could have understood you, but what I've heard you say, well, that's something you do when you marry. But to get to that point of marriage, you have to step up and come to the plate as the man to even jump into the position of a fiance to be the husband. Because don't wait till we get married and then you're going to show me some tricks because that's not how that works.
I still don't know what you said. You said I'll be laying around doing nothing. We're doing the same thing. I don't understand. What's the difference with I'm doing and you doing? I'm laying around doing nothing while you doing what? What I'm laying around doing nothing. I'm out there working and trying to make you, as my woman, feel good about yourself, and you doing the same about me. So how either one of us laying around doing nothing? So both of us are trying to help each other work.
Everybody don't think like you.
Well, them the ones you don't want to be with you. Right. That's why you got to find that person. You got to find that person. See, and the reason I think this way because I don't been through 3 marriages, so I don't learn all the wrong ways to do stuff because I have done them. Right. And I've been by myself. And when you're by yourself, you really have time to look at all the parts you don't play and everything you don't do. And see, and I know what it takes. It's 100% thing. You got to be real when we come to this relationship thing. This is no joke. Ain't no games about it. You got to be real. Because you play games, you're going to end up getting hurt. So it's going to take a lot. But when you've been through it a lot of times.
I do agree with, though, caller. You said that a man and a woman and a man are meant to be with someone. Like you're meant to have partners. I do believe that. I know that when I evaluate how I am without a partner versus how I am with a partner, I can definitely see the strength in having a partner. And I'm not just talking about relationships. I'm talking about even in business. I feel like for the times that I've had a female partner or a male partner, and definitely with a male partner, I have seen the strength. I have seen, the growth. I've seen things that happen that maybe it wouldn't have happened as quickly or as easily if I had to do it all by myself. I do feel like men and women are meant to be with people, or Adam and Eve, like we were meant to be a couple, but sometimes life or whatever causes people not to choose to be with a partner. But I do feel like couples, there's strength in being a couple, being with someone, a partner, yin and yang. I just feel like there's strength. They're undeniable strength to let you know that that's the way it's supposed to be. That's especially when it's positive. If it's not positive, if it's negative energy, and the two of y'all never need to be together anyway, that's different. But when you're both compatible, that power that you have is so much more than it is when you're just by yourself or you're single. Single men are healthy. Married men are healthier than single men. Single men are out running around acting crazy, but something about a woman that just changes things. It's just better. I just think, even for a woman, I'm much more disciplined in a relationship than I am when I'm not in a relationship. You know what I'm saying? Because I have somebody else to
You have
that's a part
somebody
of my
else
life.
that care about you, and that, you know what I'm saying, that's right for you.
Well, I think when you're in a relationship,
I completely agree to that. I think that when you're in a positive and healthy relationship, it helps you build. And they say that married couples last longer or live longer because, I mean, you have a companion there. You have somebody you're talking to. As you get older, you're watching your health. Or say maybe you're not the one that's all that healthy, but you got your companion or your partner, rather, that they're like, hey, babe, let's do this. We can do this together. You know, you got your cheerleader in your right pocket. And that's always healthy because you got somebody who cares about you. You know they care about you. And that's sometimes the extra push that you need. Mm-hmm. But when you're single, I like that it's different.
And see, that was what love is all about, because when you with somebody else, they can pick up that ball, y'all carry that ball together. It don't take as much to handle a problem when you try to handle it by yourself, because you're just dealing with it by yourself. And sometimes having that person or that lover by you, she'll help you not to make that mistake that you be thinking about making sometimes. She kind of keep the balance, you know what I'm saying? And I like balance now.
Yeah. I think when you start to get older in life, when you start to age, mature, you start to understand things differently. When we're young, we don't really be thinking about that. You just be thinking about, oh man, she looks fine, or oh man, he looks fine, or you know, his muscles is boom, or her butt is wow. You know, that's what you look at when you're younger. You know what I'm saying? But as you start to mature and you start to, especially when you get out there on your own and you got to pay bills by yourself, you got to do this by yourself, you got that. And especially in the age of single mothers and all that kind of stuff, you start to understand the importance of having that partner, that person. It's nothing like coming home to somebody that you know got your back or who love you. It's so much different. The energy is different. The way, you know, and not to say that being that period of time when you're by yourself isn't good too, because you need that, you know, before you get into a relationship. You got to know who you are. You got to know what you want. You got to know, before I can love you, can I love me? Do I love me? Can I look in the mirror and love what I see, regardless of whether it's looking good today or not? Can I love me? Do I love who I am? You know, that's another question I want to ask, because a lot of women, I'm seeing more and more women, and even some men, they get cosmetic surgery. Like, it blows my mind when, okay, I could understand you feel like your nose too big. Okay, all right. Or you feel like your booty ain't big enough. Okay, all right. Or your breast too flat. Okay, I got it. Or you need to take something because your muscle. Okay, I understand all that. But the question is, are you doing all that because there's something that you're looking at in the mirror that you're seeing that ain't nobody else seeing that you don't like, and you feel like all this surgery and stuff is going to change it? Or are you just dealing with crisis, and you look at young people and you feel like I want to be like Peter Pan. I don't ever want to change. I don't ever want to grow up. You know, I don't understand why people go through all that cosmetic surgery. Like, what are you looking for? What are you trying to change?
Right.
What are you not? What's really going on the inside that you want to change the outside? You know what I'm saying?
Probably nothing. There's probably nothing going on the inside, which is why they want to change the outside. You know, sometimes I'm going to say it this way. When you're in a healthy relationship, each person becomes the other person's why. They become the reason why they do something. You know what I'm saying? For people who, to address the truth now, saying, for people.
If you can save everybody, if you're not talking, put your phone on mute so that we can hear who's talking because it's feedback. Okay. Now go ahead and finish.
For people, and it's only my opinion because I've never had it, but for people who look at themselves and decide that they need to go under the knife or whatever, is not necessarily about any one person. Some people are just so insecure with themselves, who they are. They base who they are, their value, their worth on what society says, or they're following trends. They may think that if they got bigger boobs or bigger behind or whatever, that's going to give them the attention that they want. It is really more than the attention that they want. They're looking for something that's going to fill up some type of hole that they may not even realize, you know, what that hole is. They don't know what that emptiness is, but they're going to just fit in with everybody else and maybe what everybody else is getting, per their own thought, maybe a little bit will trickle down to them too, and at least put a little bit in that hole so it's not completely empty. So it could be a lot of it based on an insecurity, not loving themselves because they don't know themselves, and some people could just be extreme. Some people just really, really appreciate who they are, but just want to enhance themselves, for whatever reason. But honestly and fairly, the only real way to answer that question is to ask those people who have undergone it. What was your reason for doing it? Because everybody's reason is going to be different. So we can only speculate at this point. Like I said, it's only my opinion. I've never done it. I've never had this thought. If you ask people who have actually gone through those procedures, what was your reason for doing it, you're going to get different answers. And that's just being fair. But the exchange with the relationship has got to be a healthy exchange. You're my why. I'm your why. So let's do this. You know what I'm saying? It's just got to be healthy all the way around. But you got to love you so much. You got to love you so much that whoever you're with is going to get exactly that. They're going to get that. They're going to experience that. And then they can reciprocate that because they can now see that. They're experiencing it. They know what that looks like. They know what that feels like. They know what that sounds like. You become mirrors to each other. You become the reflection to each other because you're both living the application of the truth called love. It's got to go beyond that feeling because that will dissipate or change based on the circumstance. I'm done for the moment.
That's deep. That's deep. That's deep. That's deep. Yeah, that was deep. So let's take a quick break, y'all. Because that was some deepness. I gotta get one song in here. Let's take a quick one song break. And we'll be right back.
All right.
Want to move back to
I'm so in love with you, girl. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Thinking of you is all I do. All I need in life is you. You by my side, I can't deny it. It makes me stronger for the next day. Don't go away, I'm begging, say. 'Cause if you leave, God knows you're taking the best of me. Whoa. So love, baby, I'm in love with you. There are no words that I can declare to tell you how I feel for you. Oh, maybe the things you say or you do that's got me crazy over you. With you.
This is your boy, Bad Boy Billy Sly. Whether I'm just chilling in the studio or kissing the leading lady or out on the street promoting our new CD, Kenny G Wall of Bass, no matter how you play it, I'm down with Patricia and Mr. Stout on the Move. Unscripted, baby.
What's going on? Have tuned in to another episode of On the Move Unscripted. We're having a deep discussion. If you want to join in, the call-in number is 516-387-1247. Today our topic is love free? And the question that we're asking all the callers and people who are calling in, and also that we're discussing is, can a man love a woman without expectation? And can a woman love a man for free? That is such a deep topic, Kim. What brought that topic out?
Just because I hear so many men, single men, that are having difficulties getting into relationships with women that don't want their money or don't want them to right out the gate pay a bill or take care of them financially. And a lot of these men are like, they're really sincere about being in a relationship, but they're having problems finding women that are on the same level with them, that are not just, solely looking to be financially taken care of, or at least not right out the gate. So it seems to them that these women, or most women now, are gold diggers or just strictly out for, some type of financial gain, not really looking for any type of real committed relationship. They just want to get what they can get and get out. So I figured it was time to ask the question and really see where the men stand, on that, if they can, be in a relationship or pursue a relationship without it being sexual, and to see if women can be with a man and or even be interested in a man that might not even have any money, one, or if that's the main focus of her even wanting to be with him. So I'm very curious to hear the other callers.
For me, I never really cared about a man's assets, like what he has. You know what I'm saying? I never looked at, in dating, I never really looked at a man for all that. I mean, I have my certain expectations, but I'm okay dating a man who's the manager at McDonald's, or the manager at Kroger's or whatever. Like I'm okay with, the blue collar man or whatever works in a factory. Like I'm okay with that. You know what I'm saying? Because I look at the essence of who the man is and what the potential he has, and then I think about, okay, so how can we work together as a team? Because I know that once you come together, you're going to explode anyway. Two incomes is always better than one. So I don't look at men in that way. I look at their integrity and who they are and what their goals and their visions and dreams are. And you could talk to a person for a good 20 minutes and you could tell just about where they're at. You know what I'm saying? If you sit down and talk to someone for, huh?
I said, it don't take 20 minutes if you ask the right questions.
Right. If you don't ask the right questions, it probably doesn't. But I know for me, one date, I think anybody, one date, you pretty much know. My issue is when I used to do online dating, they would never want to start off with, okay, well, let's meet at a restaurant, and let's. You asked me out on a date, so let's meet at the restaurant. Yeah, you pay for the meal because you asked me out, or whatever. But if it was reverse, I asked you out and I paid. But the point is, let's go to a restaurant. But they don't want to do that. Let's meet over there in the parking lot. I don't want to meet you in the parking lot. Let's meet over there in the rallies, over the drive-thru. I don't want to meet there. I don't want that. I've been talking to you on the phone, for 2 months now, and some of them don't even want to give me that time. They want to meet right away. But for the ones who are willing to talk to you and get to know you on the phone, and then you meet the first time, let's go over to the Walmart parking lot. I don't want to do that. That's not the kind of date I want. No, I don't feel like a lot of times they don't even have their expectations. They don't even have their game. They're not even trying to court us anymore. What happened to men courting women. Like, you know what I'm saying? Back when mom and dad and all them used to get married and they stayed married for 50 years, that man courted that woman. He let it be known that he was interested in her, and he did what he had to do to get it. Even had to go to ask the daddy for permission or whatever. We're so far away from that because everybody starts relationships backwards. He was like, he's good in the bed, but do you know his middle name?
You know,
right.
That's Pookie. You know that. I know about Pookie. Really?
I mean, like, what Pookie is? Girls one on north side, south side, east, and west. Like, which one? My girl. For real.
I'm just like, I feel like that's the problem with relationships. I have been in long-term friendships with men that ended up turning into relationships. But Kenny is one. I'm like that because I got to get to know who you are before I just be laying down with your stuff.
Let me read this comment real quick.
Who you are.
One of my followers, one of my family response, he said, what happens if you are with someone, been together for years, the person gets hurt or have a complication in health where they can't bring the same thing to the table? Do you still feel they both should be financially equal when they can't be? So you still take care of them either way. Also, what happens when the man can't perform as he did before? Does the woman stay if he was looking? Does the woman stay if he was looking for it to eventually be getting around to that? What happens then? We stay and we put up with it. Some of the good women do. When you ask, can a man be with a woman and just do the relationship and not expect sex? So that all went together. So I guess it wasn't.
So what? So if you get with a brother and he becomes impotent and he can't rock no more,
right.
Do you roll out? Do you stay?
Right.
Whoa, that's a deep one because that happens. Men, as they get older, they it's not like it was when they was 18 and they was, screwing around like rabbits. It slowed down. Some of them, some of them don't even work no more. Some of them need to take a pill. Some of them, and then like you said, accidents. People who are together and one of the mates get in an accident, do you leave? Because you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, that's deep. That's where that love counts. That's when you know that person loves you.
And then you got to consider,
depending
on where he is mentally, emotionally, men, okay, and I can talk about experience from when I was married. If a man is in a particular mental state and it ain't where he wants to be or needs to be, you can forget some physical interaction. It ain't going down. Because it ain't, I should have said that. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen because he cannot focus on that. He needs, if he doesn't feel like he's able to perform on any other level as a man intimately, that's not going to happen. That's not his focus. So you're going to walk out on him because of that, because of where he is in his mental space? No. You're going to figure out what the hell going on? What's going on with you? How can I help you get out of that space? Not just for me, but for us, for you. You know what I'm saying? But some women don't get that. They don't understand that, or they don't try to understand that. They want what they want when they want it, and that's that. And they move the hell on.
What about men? What about men?
Same thing.
Question.
What happens
if
when
they're sexually people who have a high sex drive and they get married and they get with someone and if something happens and she doesn't have a libido no more, she has to have she don't want to do it anymore. She doesn't want to have sex once a month now, baby. Once a month. Do mixed sex.
Here's how I will respond to that. Okay, and I'm not gonna get graphic and nasty about it, but we grown folks. There is more than one way to satisfy your partner. Okay, if one thing don't work, you got other options. Make it work. Especially when you're in a committed relationship. If it's not physically broken all the way around, you know what I'm saying? Like if you are just not numb from the neck down or from the nose down, let me clarify, from the nose down, then you have other means of satisfying one another. You can't just go in and say, well, my foot broke, I can't make love to you tonight. That ain't got shit to do with nothing. I don't need your foot. You know what I'm saying? You got to be fair to each other on both ends. You know what I'm saying? You got to be fair. Make a way.
But that also speaks in volume too. If somebody can't perform or can't do whatever, and somebody walks away, that just means that would raise the question: was you really there for love?
Exactly.
Like, did you really love me? You couldn't have never, if you thought sex was the root of our relationship, you couldn't have never loved me if you walked away because now I can't perform in that manner, or if I lose my job because I done had a heart attack and I'm sitting at home and I don't have the income. Did you really love me, or did you really love what I was doing for you or for us that I thought that I was doing for us? That's not love. If you can walk away from somebody because of injury or whatever, because I took care of mine, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
When he first went through the cancer stuff, I got my credentials in this, honey. I'm an SPNA. You coming on home, I'm going to take care of you, and when he didn't have it, I did. I made sure I did, because I learned that also from him, watching him, because he had a gift of gab. He can talk anybody out of anything. So I learned that from him, and I seen, we have a lot of stuff, so I just had to make it happen. So if you walk away because somebody can't no more, then that's not really love.
Right.
Well, I know. Do you fault a man who stays with the woman but then has a side chick?
That's really up to them, honestly, because I would say, there's. At one time, I would have said, hell yeah, absolutely. Yep, you committed to me, just me, through thick and thin. You know what I'm saying? That's what we agreed to. Absolutely. So on that part, absolutely, I would say I would fault him. Now, when you get into, if you have an understanding agreement prior to that or whatever, it is different than what's standard out here. That's on them. You know what I'm saying? If you agree that if such and such happened, I think this is deja vu for me right now. If such and such happened, then you have permission to do blah, blah, blah. That's one thing. But once you have committed yourself to this individual through thick and thin, through, sickness and health, whether your limbs fall off or not, whether your stuff shrink up and dry out, whatever, it can dry rot, whatever. If you agree that I'm going to be with you through all that, then you need to do that. You need to uphold that. Uphold it. It may be some issues, emotionally. It may be some, some trying times or whatever, some difficulties, some temptations. A lot of that's going to go on. It's definitely going to happen. But where does I don't want to say your loyalty necessarily, what's the priority? What's the priority at that moment? I understand the physical needs.
But if they stay, but they have a side chick on the side to take care, or a side guy on the side to take care of the things that the spouse can't do, but they stay in a relationship, does that make them bad? Because people have needs, So if you are in a relationship and you could love them with everything that's in you, but you still have that need, that something. So I mean, how do you fault a man or a woman who stays with, like I said, a disabled person or someone who can't perform, whatever, but then they still got, little time on it, or Karen down the street, like. But they still are
as long as everybody's playing by the same rules. As long as you know what the rules are, right? We're playing by the same rules.
Right.
Then I don't see anything wrong with it personally. It's, to each couple their own. You make decisions for your relationship based on what your needs are and those things that you like and those things that you value. It's the problem comes in is when one person is playing by one set of rules of their own and not let the other person know what that is. That's the problem.
The cheating part.
Right.
Yep, that's it. From that's when the infidelity.
I take care of a guy who had a woman and they lived together. He had a woman for 17 years. Took very good care of her. Worked hard. Worked 60, 70 hours a week. Then one day he had a misfortune at work. Fell off his forklift from 20, 30 feet up. He was off work for up to a year. And he has not been back to work. He has not been back to work yet. But after 17 years of hard dedication to taking care of this woman, once she realized that he wasn't going to be working and that her life had to change, she just up and bounced after 17 years. And then I took care of a woman, and she's been with her husband for about 15 years. And the first year of between the first and second year of their marriage, she got into a very bad car accident, which left her paralyzed. Now, her husband did not leave, but he does cheat. She doesn't like it, but, he said that, he gave his wife out. He's like, I love my wife. I know I took the oath, but I am a man and I have needs. And my wife is in all this wound care stuff that is not appealing, and if there's seepage, it smells. I still take care of her. I clean her. I'll change it whenever the people aren't there. But I have needs as a man, and my wife can't do that. I could leave her, and she would be totally alone, but I love her. But as a man, I have to be able to release my needs. There's only so much that movies and tapes and stuff, I need a woman with a live body that I can release in. He said, and that's kind of where it's at. He said, the wife was mad and put him out, but then she realized that the care and the help that she thought she was going to have with her family and friends never came. So she wanted her husband back, and he came back quick, fast, in a hurry. And he said it's not like something that he goes out and do on a daily, but when he have his needs, and he tried to, I don't know how often, honestly, but that's what he does, because he still has needs, but he still takes care of the house, he still takes care of his wife, he still makes sure she have, and he said, and this was within the first couple, years. He said, we weren't even married 2 whole years. We were married like about a year and a half, and that happened to her. He said it was unfortunate. I cried, I prayed, but this is my reality. And as a reality, I'm not going to keep, using my hands to relieve myself when there's so many women out here in the world. I use protection. I'm not going to, I don't bring nothing home to my wife because I've not made love to my wife in 15 years. But as a man, I have needs, and I'm going to fulfill them. So, what do you do?
Right. Well, hell, what's he going to bring home to his wife anyway? They ain't having sex.
This sounds like one of them conversations. I have to continue on Kim's Live because we're coming down to the last few minutes because that was deep. That's a deep question.
That's sad.
If the person that you love and something happens to them, that they can't be the person that they were, the person that you married or that you got with, what do? You love them, but then, do you stay? And be unfaithful?
This couple was older, but this couple, when they got married in their 20s, so in their late 20s, there was no more. She's paralyzed from, like, chest down. She's paralyzed from, like, shoulders down. So, what do you don't want to leave your wife. You want to do your best. And for years, he said he didn't do anything, but temptation finally got the best of him. He said, I don't do it often, but when I need to relieve myself, I do. And I was like,
and them damn women can sniff out a married man quicker than you can blink your eyes. They can sniff them little side chicks can sniff out the married men across the field. He looks like he's married, like that should be off base, but it's not. So anyway, we appreciate everybody for stopping by on the Move Unscripted. Definitely check out Kimberly McCants Live because she's probably going to continue the subject. But you know how Blog Talk do it. They'll cut us off in the middle. So I love y'all. Peace and love to everybody. Y'all have an awesome week. And I'm going to pop on your live because I know you're going to keep it popping, y'all. Peace and love, y'all. On the Move Unscripted on purpose, ladies roundtable discussion. Peace and love.
Good night.
Let's go get that money. Let's go get that money. Let's go get that money. Like Adam and Eve and Bonnie and Clyde, we're a team. Different days, same story. Got to go out and get that money. Got mouths to feed and bills to pay. Got to put that S on my chest today. Superwoman. Every superwoman.
put on my case. I gotta win this race. I got far too much to say. Different days, same story. Got to go out and get that money. Got mouths to feed and bills to pay. Got to put that S on my chest today. Superwoman, superwoman. Every superwoman needs her Superman. Superwoman, superwoman. Every superwoman needs her Superman. Superwoman needs her Superman. Superwoman needs her Superman. Hey, I gotta pick up the pace. No more time to waste. Gotta put on my case. I gotta win this race. I got far too much to say. Superman, superwoman, like Adam and Eve, and Bonnie and Clyde. We taking over, and that's no lie. No mountain high, with you by my side. Hey, I'm superwoman. Superman, hey, like Adam and Eve, and Bonnie and Clyde, we will succeed. Superman, superwoman, like Adam and Eve, and Bonnie and Clyde, we taking over, and that's no lie. I got your back, baby, and you got mine. Hey, let's go get that money. Let's go get that money. Let's go get that money. Like Adam and Eve.